Today on Growing Bolder, GB at the NSG. We wrap up an amazing week at the National Senior Games.
No matter what the age, they can still stay active and they still can stay engaged in what they love to do.
It's been said that the most valuable antiques are old friends. Mike Leonard shares a personal story on the bonds of friendship that we can all relate to.
And I'm Laura Savini, here to introduce you to a woman who felt adrift after leaving her teaching job that she loved so much, until she found her new tribe. The life-transforming benefits of shared passions, next on Growing Bolder.
We're not made to withdraw from life. We're made to seize each moment and to value every breath. We're made to be bold, to take risks, and to help others. We are the most creative, fearless, passionate being that has ever walked the face of the earth. Don't identify with limitation. Embrace possibility. This is not the beginning of the end. This is the beginning of what's next. This is Growing Bolder. Hi, I'm Mark Middleton. Welcome to Growing Bolder, where we're all friends, and that's important because good friends are one of the most important keys to healthy aging and quality of life. It's been proven that good friends reduce sickness, depression, and cognitive decline. True friendship is a rare gift. It's something that lasts forever. In today's episode of In Common with Mike Leonard, Mike shares a very personal story that we can all relate to.
Hello, Mark. True friends do favors for each other. Many years ago, I received a letter from a stranger, a young New Orleans man, asking if I would consider doing a Today Show story about his friend, an artist with a unique talent. The letter writer wanted nothing for himself. That impressed me, so I flew down to New Orleans, did the story, and now the three of us are close friends.
We first met more than 2 decades ago.
We're buddies, man. Look at us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? 22 years later, dude. I mean, to me, that was more important that came out of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't know each other. Yeah.
A long friendship.
And it all started with a letter to NBC written back in 1990 by a younger Danny Wilson, prompting a younger me to travel down to the 7th Ward of New Orleans for a Today Show profile on Danny's lifelong friend, amateur artist Lyndon Berrois, he of the big dreams and the very small portfolio.
You saw something in him.
I saw something deep in him. The passion that he had about what he did. It wasn't a hobby, it was part of his life.
A life soon to be made better by turning junk, his mom's discarded gum wrappers, into art.
It's the perfect material for what I use them for. It's the perfect thing. You can see where even the twist and folds in the material takes on characteristics of movement.
The story aired on Today in October of 1990, and then something magical happened.
Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum saw that segment, and I think they bought
10 of them.
At least 10,
yeah. At least 10
and just put them in their museums around the world.
Encouraged by the demand for his art and supported by Pell Grants and student loans, all of which he has since repaid, Lyndon left New Orleans to attend the prestigious California Institute of the Arts, where he learned to animate his gum wrappers.
It's pretty ironic, man. You know, I mean, trash.
Which brings us to the present, inside the production facility of Vancouver's Image Engine, where Lyndon Berrois, a married man with a grown son, oversees a team of animators working on an upcoming major motion picture, the 20th of Lyndon's career. As a supervisor of animation, his movie credits include The Tree of Life, the last 2 Matrix movies, and a number of other well-known productions. Earlier this year, his live-action debut film, The Lift, won Best Director and Best Movie Short at the Madrid Film Festival. As for Danny Wilson, now living in a suburb of Atlanta and a married father of 1 as well, he too has reaped the rewards of high hopes and hard work. From his earlier stints road managing LL Cool J, Puff Daddy, and other big-name musical acts, to radio station ownership, and his ongoing crusade to clean up the lyrics of hip-hop.
It says there's life and death in the power of the tongue. You're either going to speak life or you're going to speak death. And I prefer being around music and things that speak life.
In all its wondrous twists and turns, 22 years ago, a young man was making something out of nothing in the quiet of his New Orleans home. Then his friend wrote a letter to a reporter.
And it was the springboard to a lot of things that happened since then. But, you know, it's just been cool just to be friends, you know, all that time.
Lyndon now lives in LA. Danny just outside of Atlanta. We text and phone each other often, as friends do.
Thanks, Mike. For a personal story with a universal message, here are 2 friendship takeaways to consider. Number 1, social media friends are nice and they're fun, but most aren't really friends. The kind of friends you need as you age are the kind you can have lunch with, the kind that you see face to face, at least on an occasional basis. And number 2, while it's important to remain socially engaged, it's just as important that we pick our friends wisely. When we're teens, peer pressure leads us to do things we probably shouldn't. When we're older, peer pressure prevents us from doing things that we should. There's an ever-increasing group of active, passionate, engaged seniors who talk about opportunity instead of disability. These are the age disruptors. Find them and hang out with them as if your life depended upon it, because it does.
Well, if you want to see how much fun, how exciting and inspiring life can be as we age, 3 words: National Senior Games. Mark, Rowdy Gaines, and I knew we were in for an amazing experience when we headed for Albuquerque with the Growing Boulder crew, but the emotion and the pure joy we found was, well, it was kind of like this.
By the time the Flame arrived in Albuquerque's Civic Plaza, the National Senior Games were already a success. A record 13,712 athletes came from nearly every state, including Hawaii and Alaska. Records were set. Inspiration was delivered.
Hey, go Tigers!
And friends were made. In a word, the experience was
awesome! Incredible! Fantastic! Spectacular!
Unbelievably fantastic!
It was not only the largest senior games in the event's 32-year history, it was the largest multi-sport competition in the world for athletes over 50. And they didn't come alone.
Way to go, Betsy!
You go, Betsy!
Woo!
Over 25,000 family members tagged along to support and encourage and to be inspired.
I can't wait till I can be like Shmoo, where I'm here and I'm doing my thing and showing everybody what's what and just kicking butt and taking names. And that's censored for you, so you're welcome.
Shmoo SA! Shmoo SA! Shmoo SA!
Athletes in all shapes, sizes, and abilities came to Albuquerque to run for records and to swim just for the joy of it. They came to bond with teammates.
Go get 'em!
And they came to encourage one another.
So you're not just winning medals, you're making friends.
Yes, and that's what it's about. You compete, you encourage people, you enjoy, you have fun, because it's memories, you know.
They came to stretch themselves physically and socially, to make personal records and new best friends.
The neatest thing is we meet wonderful people from all over the country.
Growing Boulder didn't come to the games to report results. We came to tell the story behind the story, the moral of the story, and Rowdy, everybody here does have a story to tell.
Yeah, they really do, Mark. And one of the things I love so much about Masters athletes that they teach us that no matter what the age, they can still stay active and they still can stay engaged in what they love to do.
We came to share the stories of ordinary people living extraordinary lives, to learn the lessons of those who have battled back from disease, disability, and adversity of all kinds.
Do not fear what is in your heart.
I'll tell you, I had a knee replaced, 2 shoulder surgeries, and it proves that you still can do anything you want to do.
I used to be 100 pounds overweight. I used to be a heavy drinker, heavy smoker. I did everything wrong you could possibly do. And I've turned my life around 100%.
Just keep moving and have a good time, and you can do whatever you want.
We came to the games to encourage.
I am so proud of y'all. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Rowdy. Thank you.
We came to learn from the big names.
We are thrilled to be standing next to one of the greatest entertainers in America today. We're talking about Pat Boone. Now, you notice I didn't say one of the greatest basketball players.
And from little ladies with big messages.
So tell me what the moral of the Julia Hawkins story is. What's the takeaway? What do you want people to know?
Just keep moving and doing. Always have something ahead of you that you're looking forward to.
We came to spread the word about the power of belief, to celebrate the culture of positivity and the growing bolder attitude that we're not meant to withdraw from life as we age, we're meant to lean into it.
I think you guys are doing a great work. I love the coverage that you're doing, the stories that you're writing, and there's really nothing off limits that you can do. If you work hard, there's no telling what you can accomplish.
You like the concept of growing bolder and not growing older?
Love it. That's what I'm doing.
How much is growing bolder responsible for your success today?
The growing bolder attitude is responsible for all of it. But you don't understand. I had some of that already. I was just glad I found somebody that's preaching it, man. It's like, yes.
And preach it we did at a special Launchpad to What's Next live event held at the historic Chemo Theater. A sellout, intergenerational crowd came to be inspired.
I'm here to learn what I can do better to improve my life as I get older.
Live speakers included Growing Boulder's own Bill Schaefer, three-time Olympic gold medalist Rowdy Gaines, and longevity expert Dr. Roger Landry.
That how we age depends more on our lifestyle than on genes. Up to 70% of how we age is our lifestyle. Prehabilitation is aging's ultimate no-brainer, period. End of story. Everybody of every age should be prehabilitating.
What did you think of the presentation?
Oh, I loved it. I mean, I'm a big person about encouraging and inspiring. So to me, I just take this and I'm going to go to my next friend that needs it. So it's perfect. I wish everybody I knew could be here to hear this.
I thought it was very inspirational. I'm 18 and it was just the kind of message that I wanted to hear. And I heard it.
We came to the National Senior Games to spread the good news that age is not a disease, it's an opportunity. We found a receptive audience that's eager to look forward instead of looking back. What we found in Albuquerque more than anything else was passion for pickleball and pole vaulting, for swimming, running, badminton, volleyball, and shuffleboard.
Just do what you love doing. Commit to what you love doing and do it with passion.
Everywhere we looked, we saw inspiration and hope, friendship and encouragement. We saw not an event, but a movement. This isn't just competition in 20 sports. It's a statement about what's possible.
I'm 56, so don't talk about days are behind you. This is life right here where it just begins. This is life right here.
For now, the athletes and their families head home to continue their pursuit of health and well-being, encouraged by new friendships made and already looking forward to 2021 when the National Senior Games reconvene in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a fact that has athletes from the Sunshine State more than just a little excited.
All right, first, it was so inspiring to be surrounded by so many people all looking to have a great time. Second, man, there was a lot of love for Rowdy Gaines, who was there as part of the Growing Boulder crew, and for Mark Middleton, who hosted Growing Boulder's Launchpad to What's Next National Senior Games edition. You know, Launchpad was a sellout and an unforgettable experience, and hopefully we'll see you at one somewhere down the line.
Hi, I'm Laura Savini. Have you ever found yourself in a position where you didn't know anybody? You've really learned what finding your tribe means when you must start over. Nan Druskin was a high school teacher. She loved her job, she loved her students, and when she retired, she didn't just lose her job, she lost her tribe, the place where she had purpose, where she was needed, where she felt she belonged. She was lost until she found a whole new tribe.
Well, I didn't want to retire. I had bad eyes. The computer screen was drying them out. It got to the point where the doctor said, Nan, you've got to stop. But that probably was my hardest time, the fact that I couldn't go back to, what was I going to, I couldn't go back to work. What was I going to do? And fortunately, I found this place. Oh man, I've never had so much fun. I really enjoyed teaching. It was never a job for me. But you know, I think I have more fun now than I ever did. When I'm here at this community center, I look around for somebody who's new. I always go up and introduce themselves. I usually wear a big name tag with my name on it. And if I remember to, I go home and write their names on the calendar. So I'm looking for them next week if they come back. Because I know it's important to be around other people and to feel welcomed. And this place is has become a family. Ready to go? 1, 2. I don't feel like an old person. I feel like I'm 40. And that's because of working out here at the community center, doing races, helping out with the kids here in Catch Healthy Habits, and doing the peer-to-peer nutrition program with Oasis here at the community. It keeps you young. When you give back and when you move, you stay young, I think. I think for the most part, seniors forget that they need to keep moving and keep working on something. They have to have something that's important in their lives. I love Zumba. I also love belly dancing, but I've been doing Zumba for the longest time. Now, I don't know all the new dances, so I worked on my hips, and I think I've gone overboard. But I love it. 1, 2, 3, 4. After an hour, you feel like a kid. You don't even feel like you've worked out because the music's going. Every cell in your body is perspiring. It's been a great workout, and you don't even realize you worked out. I could do it every day. You know, you have to make your fun. You have to set your mind to it. You've got to have fun. I find that if I'm sore, the best way to get over that soreness is to get up and move. I guess one reason I work so hard at it is because I realize I don't have children to take care of me. My family, for the most part, is right here at the Winter Park Community Center. I really believe that we've got to look out for one another, especially when you're senior citizens. So you check on neighbors to see how they are getting along, and you have to care about others, and you have to get out and make people's lives better, and in the process, yours become sweeter too.
Growing Boulder's Launchpad to What's Next is not only inspiring audiences on national public television, it's now a live touring show in which we and our team of collaborators are striving to do nothing less than change the culture of aging in America. One of my favorite presentations is delivered by the legendary distance swimmer, author, speaker, and broadcaster, Diana Nyad. Here's some of what she's sharing in Growing Boulder's Launchpad to What's Next Live.
I had a Greek father who was dramatic. No, he was more than dramatic, he was histrionic. On my 5th birthday, he woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, "Dad, I have school in a couple of hours. I have to sleep." "I am your father, no? I am here to teach you the lessons of life, no?" We go to the den. He has Webster's big, fat, unabridged dictionary open. He puts his hands on the pages, tears well in his eyes. Naiad. In Greek mythology, my people, the nymphs that swam in the lake, river, ocean, and fountain to protect for the gods. Definition number 2, this is the special one for you, darling. Naiad. Girl or woman, champion, swimmer. Oh, my God, this is your destiny, darling. I didn't know what destiny was. I was only 5. But whether you believe in destiny or not, sure enough, I became a champion little swimmer. I was drawn to the commitment of the sport. 4:30 in the morning, every morning, never an alarm clock needed. Age 9, the Cuban Revolution broke out. Literally overnight, thousands of Cubans flooded into my hometown, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. One day I was on the beach with my mother and I said, "Mom, where is it? I want to see Cuba. It's out there, but I can't see it." She said, it's there. No, it's there. It's right across the horizon there. As a matter of fact, it's so close that you could even swim there. Swim there? Well, as it turns out, through the 1970s, my 20s, I was one of the best ocean swimmers in the world, open water. I had records for the Bay of Naples in Italy, Manhattan Island, Lake Ontario, and all those, believe me, were grand adventures. But Cuba was in my soul. And now, the ocean swimmers started to call the Cuba swim the Mount Everest of the Earth's oceans. It's an epic endeavor, and to me, it was never just another endurance event. It was an emblem of living life to the nth degree. 1978, I walked down to the shore in Havana, 28 years old, brash, cocky, jellyfish, get out of my way. The wind whipped up, and we were in an 8-foot sea for 42 hours. The next year, we couldn't get a break with the wind. It came out of the east all year long and bumped up against that Gulf Stream. The next year, we couldn't get a break with the visas. No American gets into Cuba, and now I'm 30. The age of retirement for most world-class athletes, and the knock on the door has come from the wide world of sports and Fox Sports and National Public Radio. I'm not going to complain about those next 30 years. I left my beautiful Cuba dream behind, but I'm following the best in the world pursue their excellence. And every time someone would try to make the Cuba swim, I like to think myself a sporting person. I'm retired, but when they wouldn't make it, I do a little happy dance. Woo! You know, it's illogical, but somehow the dream is still alive out there. Approaching 60, I started to feel the malaise of a spectator. At least those people trying to come across were doing something. I went rummaging around my office for a poem I had read once, The Summer's Day. I must have read those last 2 lines, those brilliant rhetorical lines, 1,000 times during that month of turning 60. Tell me, what is it you're doing with this one wild and precious life of yours? I hadn't swum a stroke in 30 years. I didn't know if the shoulders would come back. I didn't know if the will would fire up again. But that's what I decided to do with this one wild and precious life. I knew it was going to take tapping down into every fiber of my potential. Yes, this endeavor is about a number of things, but nothing more than the power of the human spirit. And me and my team, we were still believers. So it's a 5th time. I stand on the shore of Havana, looking out at a horizon that now looks more elusive than it ever did before. And I take the leap. And that was 53 hours, 111 miles of some awe-inspiring gliding over the curvature of the earth and some profound suffering. It's been 5.5 years now since the stumble up onto that beach, and yes, I can remember the moment of triumph, but more so, what stayed with me is my will and a team's refusal to give up.
Diana is the first to admit that she couldn't have been successful alone. She not only needed help, she needed belief. In fact, encouragement and belief in her ability from others was probably most important. And as we age, we all need that kind of support and encouragement because attitude, both good and bad, is contagious. Health-related attitudes, both positive and negative, spread like wildfire throughout social networks. And while we all have read about the power of positivity, few understand the devastating, dream-killing power of negativity. Negative thinking leads directly to anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, unhealthy behaviors, and ultimately to sickness. If you want to be successful, positivity is important, but avoiding negativity is crucial. So be an encourager. Tell those around you what you appreciate or admire about them. Tell them how they inspire you and how you know they're capable of achieving their dreams, because that's growing bolder. We'll see you next time.
More information about all of the stories you've seen here today is available at growingbolder.com/TV. And you can go bold when you connect with the Growing Bolder community on Facebook and Instagram. Get Growing Bolder magazine, 4 quarterly issues delivered to your home for $29.97 a year. A companion book, Growing Bolder by Mark Middleton, is available as well for $25 plus shipping and handling. Growing Bolder membership includes access to a robust online platform featuring tools, tips, and resources in personal finance, functional fitness, caregiving, brain health, entrepreneurism, and more. Available for $30 for 1 year. Order online at growingbolder.com/TV.